And welcome back to the channel. Glad you can be here with me today. And you know, this is the end of the year of 2020. It's been a difficult year for a lot of folks, and you know, it's been even more difficult with the launch of new products, new processors, new graphics cards, and you can't find any of them. And so I'm actually in the market myself to have to build a PC right now. And so I have gone through the challenge myself of trying to locate parts and pieces to be able to put together a system that I need. And so today I want to go through and show you a couple of things that I was able to locate and parts that I was able to purchase and get shipped in. They're not all here yet. They're on the way. I've got 2 or 3 more things that I'm waiting to come in. So hopefully the build will start here in the next week, and I'll have a video coming together for that. So I'm sure a lot of you are not having any fun trying to locate your PC parts right now. I know that it's been quite an experience for me over the last couple of weeks, rounding up these parts that I need for this build that I've got going on currently myself. And so going over to PC Part Picker here, we're going to take a look at our parts list. I'm going to go through these one by one. I'm going to touch a little bit on why I picked what I picked, or if I found it in a deal, those kind of things. So I ended up selecting the Ryzen 7 3700X. You know, it's a great processor. It's 3rd gen. It's PCIe 4.0. You know, it's going to give me a great boost in performance compared to what I got now. Right now I'm running 1st gen, a Ryzen 7 1700. And so this machine here is going to be a lot better and more efficient than what I'm running now. This new one's going to be on 7 nanometer architecture versus what I've got on my 1st gen processor. And so I've never had any issues with my 1st gen. It's worked great. They've put out a great product, and I think now they've just made it even better. And so I'm going with that Ryzen 7 3700X. And real quick, originally I wanted a Ryzen 9 3900X, which is a 12 core 24 thread. And they actually had it when I started doing my shopping. Was the Wednesday before Black Friday, and they actually had it in stock and it was on sale. Normally that processor is $499, and I want to say they had it, I don't know, it was like $430 or something like that. At Newegg it was on sale, and I didn't buy it then. I should have. And I've been kicking myself ever since, because that's really the processor that I was wanting. But with this processor here, it's going to get me on the 7 nanometer, and you know, for what I'm doing, it's going to work fine. But I was trying to kind of plan for future. This build that I'm on now, I've been running it for the past 3 years, and it's worked great. But the motherboard I'm on currently, I can't even get BIOS updates for it anymore. I'm running the ASRock B 350 Fatality Gaming K4 in this current build that I have here, and I've got actually got a video linked on the channel here of when I built that machine. And it's worked great. But you know, I'm glad that I'm able to upgrade and go, because this machine needs to be repurposed for something different. And so head back over here to our system build. So we're going with that processor. To cool it, I'm going to cool it with MasterLiquid ML360R. You know, this one, it's, you know, it's going to, I mean, really it's overkill for what I need right now. But if I do slot up into a Ryzen 9, this will give me some adequate cooling for that as well. And so I ended up selecting to go with that. And then also another reason I'll share with you in just a moment. Motherboard, I went with the MSI B550 Tomahawk. Solid board, great reviews. It's got everything that we need on it. Even has USB 3.2 Type C port here, which my case does as well. But you know, it's got built-in I/O shield. It's got great power delivery system. It's got you know, Gen 4 for M.2 support. So even though I'm not going with Gen 4 on M.2 right now, this board will handle that for future builds. And so I tried to approach this not only from future reliability, but also kind of where's the best price for performance, because you can spend a lot of money on these motherboards, and some of it I think is just unnecessary. For memory, I just went with the G.Skill Ripjaws 5. This is 3600 speed and it's cache latency 16. A lot of the 3600s are cache latency 18, but I specifically wanted to go 16, gets a little bit quicker. And then I'm dropping in 2 kits of that, so I'll have 32 gigs total. No RGB on that. I think there'll be plenty with the cooler and the case fans to take care of any RGB that'll be in the system. Sometimes I think you can have a little bit too much RGB in there. So, you know, the nice thing about having it on fans, you can turn it off if you don't want to look at it for a while. As far as storage, I'm going with 2 options. I've got a 500 gig Samsung 970 M.2 drive. These are solid drives, very fast. It's going to work great for what I need it for. And then also, I'm going to drop in a 1 terabyte 860 Evo. And so both of these were actually running on Black Friday deals that I got early, as well as the motherboard and also the RAM. That's why they're in black. I had to plug those numbers in because by the time I got around to actually putting this parts list and everything together, by the time I had shopped everything, the prices either had already gone back up or they were no longer in stock, and it wasn't pulling them anyway. So for a graphics card, I ended up selecting the Asus Radeon RX 5700 XT. And this card here, there are a couple of reasons why I went with this card. Number one, it was what I was able to locate and find available. Now, I don't run anything 4K. Everything that I do is 1440 on my monitors. So a 4K card for me is really just going to be overkill right now. So this card here works great at 1440. Originally, I was hoping to get into the 3070 card. Of course, can't find them anywhere. I did, however, go out to EVGA and got into their queue system, and so I'm in the queue for 3070 and 3060 Ti card. So you know, it's probably going to be sometime next year before those are available, and I get notified about that. So what I've selected will work great for what I need for right now, but in the future I do plan on switching over to an NVIDIA on that. Probably go with a 3070 if I can locate one at that time. It's been difficult. There are some out there for sale, but scalpers have them, and they just want ludicrous prices for them. And I'm definitely not going to pay what they want for a card like that. I'll plug something else in for a while, and then I'll repurpose that card into a different machine, and then I'll upgrade what I have later. And so for a case, I had a hard time deciding between 2 cases, between this Lian PC011 Dynamic and the new Fractal Meshify 2. Couple of thoughts came to mind. Number one, I like the layout of this build. I do eventually want to make this a full custom water-cooled loop for this build. So eventually I'm going to upgrade that processor, probably go into a Ryzen 9 platform, and also when I switch the video card out later, go to that 3070, I'm probably going to go to an all custom water-cooled loop, and this is the PC to do it. And then for our power supply, I was able to locate this here as well on a sale, the EVGA G5 750, and that's 80 plus gold, fully modular. That's going to work great for us on what we need for that as well. Real quick, I had made a comment in the beginning of the video about a couple of tips on locating some products when you're shopping. One thing that I did do on Newegg's site, they have an option to auto notify when they're out of stock on something, and so I actually utilized that to locate 2 items in this build. Number one was the case. When I was getting ready to purchase this case, it was out of stock, and so I had clicked the notify me button, and then it was 3-4 days later I got an email that said this item is in stock. And so I went out and went ahead and ordered it because I knew that it had sold out pretty quick after Black Friday, and so I went ahead and ordered it. Next day they were sold out again, so I was glad I did that. The second item I used that for was to notify me when the graphics card was in stock. And so I ended up purchasing that RX 5700 XT, which had been out of stock, and then of course it's out of stock. These are all the parts for the build, and we're looking forward to getting everything in here. My one part that I am still waiting on, that's kind of critical, is the graphics card. And when I ordered this, didn't order it from Adorama, I got it from Newegg. It actually shipped from Indiana, but somehow it's in California. I don't live in California. I'm on the East Coast. And so I guess it got on the wrong truck and went the wrong way. And so now it's not going to be here until Friday. So, and at the time that I'm recording this video, it's Saturday. So I got to wait a whole week for it to get here. So anyway, as soon as that gets here, we'll be ready to get the build started. And so there'll be a video coming out about that as well. And so I'll be talking about the case, talking about some of the parts. So be looking for some additional video content coming out real soon. Thanks for watching today. If you're not subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and also click like on the video if you like this. Be sure to leave me any comments or feedback of anything that you've been able to do to help locate any parts. I know that other people would love to hear about that, and hopefully we'll see you soon in the next video.